Let's have a look at Zorgo taking Lubber for a spin. We have obviously an Ellie or a pirate lobby.
This
right?
lobby is dog shit.
I love it. I don't have it muted for 1 second, and he's like, this lobby is dog shit for Lubber. All right. Nice way to kill the hype, Zorgo. Come on, man. This is going to be a good game. I guess there's no demons, right? If there's no demons, he can't get the... If there's no demons, he can get the free damage coin, right? And that hurts a lot. So you probably want demons in if you're going to be doing Lubber stuff. What's the name of the tracker? You can use !tracker. It's called Hearthstone Deck Tracker. But you can download it with that link and support the stream. That'd be appreciated. Yep, no damage. That's always a fun start. If you don't get economy, which you can't really get in this lobby, no damage is, you know... Like, it's the worst feeling is if you don't get economy and you also take 5 damage. That's just bad. He hits a Lubber straight away. All right. He's going to get the 3-4 for spell effectiveness. That makes sense. Probably attack first, right? No, it goes health. Okay. And he keeps a 3-4 on the board to try and triple it later or so, I guess. That makes sense. All right, 3-on-3 Thorum, so easy win. Hey, Bowley, thank you for subbing. Another Lubber? Hell yeah, dude. All right, he's high rolling it already. I want to see this in action. All right, so we get Lubber, we get money, one of the monies. Oh, he's thinking about trying to be cute here. He should have lassoed first then, right? Yeah. So if he had lassoed first, he had a really good shot of hitting economy or the Lubber. And then if he had hit that, he could get the other economy card on top. But if he hits the court puller, it sucks. I think we just buy economy here. Yeah. All right, I am watching it on Twitch, so it's going to be a little bit of skipping. We don't have that pre-edit on the YouTube. This has got to be a great start, right? He's got to be feeling good here because not only has he already found 2 Lubbers, he's also fighting opponents that are leveling. So he's still on 42 health as a Marin. Effectively didn't have a hero power up until this point. Finds a shell triple. Probably book. I'm trying to think, is treasure map better than Sally to just get started? Because I think it's book, but I'm trying to figure out if I wouldn't take book here, would I take treasure map or would I take Sally's? Sally's 2 gold every turn, right? It takes a while to make up for the 10 gold. So if I don't go for book, I'd probably go treasure map here because then I would get 10. That would get a spike to get my Lubber board going faster. But it looks like he's going to end up in book as well. Yeah, I'm sure there are tons of Lubber games to watch. I want to watch a little bit to, you know, basically see what the cool tactics are like, and then we definitely want to play some Lubber games of our own after this. That'll be real fun. So goes for the triple. So there's still a 3-drop that he's thinking about, or he's leveling here. I don't think he's going to be leveling, right? He wants to be on 2 from our Lubbers. So we're freezing that shell collector to get a 3-drop. Oil. I mean, why are we watching the screen? Why, dude? More than 1 second to auto pick an oil. Come on, Zorgo. What is this? You can see it doesn't have that same affinity, right? That reflex to insta buy oil. Gladiator's probably pretty good. He's gonna play a ton of spells. So, all right, there we go. Money. We definitely want to buy every investment we see, unless the gold is super awkward at the end of the turn. Selfless to buff? No. Yeah, it's not really Baller, right? Baller would get selfless for sure. And if he had Rewinder here, he could buy that damage coin without taking damage. But he's, yeah. I guess he's still happy to build up his economy here by taking the damage coin. Oh, just the 1. Okay. Yeah, you love to see this. Ooh, a scout. How do we do this? Does he want to keep the scout on the board to like fish for a Nala? Nala is really how you take this to the next level, because if for someone who has never seen this, it's going to be real confusing because you like, okay, but what's the point, right? He's on 2, he's cycling spells, but what's the point? The point is that you can get a crap ton of money because you are playing so many careful investments, you're playing oils. And in the past, there was also overconfidence on tier 2, so you'd make so much money. And then you'd use that money to pop off, right? In the past, we've had Ensorcelled Fungus, which was a really good payoff. That's the minion that got bigger for every spell you cast this game. But you can still get something like Nala. There are still trinkets that are useful. He's taken trip vouchers here, so that trip vouchers can turn into a useful greater trinket with a payoff from spells. Wizard Pipe is the first thing that comes to mind, but I'm sure there's other trinkets that, you know, you get stronger playing spells. Gets the chef on the lubber, finds the thing. Probably, I'm thinking Deflective Lava. It's probably just Sapper. I don't know if I care. He's on tier 2. I guess the spellcrafts are not good on tier 2 though. There's no coin. I guess a free reroll is out, right? Yeah. Yeah, we just take a bot. Ooh, another lubber. All right, so we're just ever increasing the number of spells in the shop, which is going to make it more likely he rolls that confidence, which is more likely he's going to roll the oil. Yeah, I think trinkets, that's something I really missed. Okay, so we are buying the selfless now. So we're either already buying that selfless for the long run, or we're sort of trying to get the pipe here. That actually makes sense, right? Because selfless isn't neutral, and if he puts more neutrals on his board, he's more likely to be offered pipe, right? So I'm guessing he plays both the selfless here, or at the very least puts it in his hand. No? Okay, that's too much. So maybe he isn't trying to hit that. Maybe it's just, let's buy it for later. We'll have to see. Hey, Quaro, thank you so very much for the 29.
I have no idea how Blizz could make the same mistake with Lubber.
Well, I'm not sure if Lubber is really a mistake. I think that the community gets excited when Lubber is viable, and then if it's too strong, they tone it down afterwards. So now the trip vouchers are going to proc, right? Oh, you could also farm 6 drops, but pipe is insane, right? But you'll candle and get 6 drops on tier 2. But Nala is a 5 these days, so yeah, never mind. Candle's probably griefing, because then... Wait, does Candle override Lubber? But he found Pipe, right? So Pipe is just, yeah. Pipe is exactly what he wants. Now, the problem is that Lubber is not a neutral, and he wants as many Lubbers on the board as he can fit. So he's going to have to keep a bit of a balance between Lubbers and neutral minions. Finds another selfless. Honestly, that whole shop was good. I think he could have cast the lasso. I think he's maybe holding a few spells because he's fighting the ghost, and he might want, well, only the spells worth holding, right? Definitely want to cast the oil in the investment. Candle and Lubber is tier 6 spells. Oh, okay. That's not worth it then. That's not worth it. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to hold some spells, keep that nice balance between tempo and greed. We're fighting the ghost, so that makes a lot of sense. We just want to cast those economy spells to not miss money for next turn. And then he puts the pointy arrow guy first to get another spell. Very, like, this is like just small optimization stuff that's really cool to see. Oil. All right, that was faster. Oh, I'm gonna die so many times trying to replicate this, bro. He's hitting the nuts. All right, so for those of you who haven't seen what this is yet, so he's got pipe right now. So you can only get this, by the way, if you have trip vouchers or if you're buttons, because you need 2 greater trinkets. But this is really the dream, because essentially what's happening now because of the Anvil is every time he casts a spell, all his neutrals are getting plus 15/15. And let me tell you that with a Lubber board, it's kind of easy to cast a lot of spells, guys. Scouts. We're gonna buff that? Dude, winning with a scout, that's so giga chat. All right, so this is kind of interesting what he's doing here. He's really trying to optimize the value here. He had that Mawcaster in his hand, so he's just trying to create board space. All right, we're not leveling, right? Oil. He's not buying the oil? What the hell, bro? Okay, I don't know if I can continue watching this. All right, so we are casting spells with only 3 neutrals on the board. Another Lubber. Yeah, we still want that, right? Chef's Choice to try and triple the Lubbers is also nice. So with Chef's Choice, you can't get Lubber if you target the Lubber. So he has to target a random Ellie. Oh, we're leveling. Okay. So leveling puts overconfidence in the pool, and he does already have the required amount of Lubbers to commit. That is fair, I guess. I'm a little bit surprised that he's not going in on the oils. Like, I thought that he was going to use this opportunity to build a little bit more economy, just buy every oil. Zorgo's raiding. All right, we got real-time commentary here. This is great. Yeah, we're having fun watching a lover game. This is actually hilarious. For those of you who weren't around at the start, which is basically, yeah. So the first thing I hear when I load up this bot, so I'm hyping this up. I'm saying like, oh man, we're gonna watch a lubber game. It's gonna be great. And the first thing Zorgo says, man, this kind of lobby is dog shit for lubber. That was, yeah. I hadn't muted you yet. That's great. All right, here we go. But you hit the nuts here. You got pipe and you got anvil, so this is insane. Why did you level to 3 here, Zorgo? This is actually really cool. I get to ask in real time. Is it just because you had enough lubbers and you want overconfidence, or what are we doing here? What's on 3 where we're super happy? Because I thought you were gonna do way more oil. The pipe gives 5/5 to all neutrals every time he casts a spell, and then the anvil triples that. So it's really just bonkers. Because demons are banned and it's for confidence. Okay, I got it. And I guess you get this evolve spell, which sort of randomly gets you Nala, right? Nala's a neutral. That would actually be so insane. Because then your your lubbers are growing too. Oh, but you're going for 6s. What's on 6? I feel like 5s for Nala are probably okay. Yeah, overconfidence. You do get some garbage in the pool as well. Nothing? Yeah, but it's just habit. It's totally fine. So if I'm playing this, I'm definitely just farming more oil. Because I can't resist, right? It's like, I gain tempo by casting oil. Where do I sign, right? Of course we're doing that. 4s are what you should go for. So, evolve into 4s or level to 4? Oh, look, he's got the golden Nala. Oh, goldenizer, yeah. That's kind of sad. You'll be poor fast with that? How can you be poor when you have tons of oil? It's basic economics. That's not something I've heard an oil man ever say. Like, oh, I have all this oil. How am I so poor? Obviously, I'm joking. I don't know. It's how I like to play. I love going for the too long-term play, but I essentially just try to get away with it. That's what I like doing. I like to make the... Ooh, Humongous is a good one, yeah. So what I like to do with Hearthstone Battlegrounds is I don't like to play 100% optimal. I like to play close enough to optimal so I can win with stuff that I really like. In this case, I like spamming oil. So I would try to play close enough to optimal so that I can play oil and still win. All right. Oh, yeah. Nala, right? He can get the tier 2 steal spell. If he gets the tier 2 steal spell... Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. Yoink! No, all right. We can keep trying. Bonker. We could try for Nala here. That's not bad. That's not bad. Make a huge Leroy. Let's go. That's not bad. Money. Ooh, more steel. Steely steel. Not interested in Nala anymore. Understandable. Understandable. Have a nice day, sir. All right, probably gonna sit on that coin, right? Don't really need to be too defensive here.
Nope.
Nope, we're not. Okay. I don't know. I can't do that. I'm on 18 health. I'm kind of winning. But I guess this guy is... we just checked his profile, right? He's probably popping off. This game is mind-blowing. However, you fail to see how it is good without the trinkets. Well, that's kind of the point. You have trinkets, so you're hoping to get something to go with them. But even if you don't have trinkets, just farming tons of gold, you can transition into something else. In the past, what we used to do with Lubber was get stronger on tier 2. Excuse me. How do we get stronger again? What were we doing? There was a thing we were doing with Lubber on 2 to get a little stronger. Oh, okay. So obviously your Soul Reminder used to get stronger. But there was something else where you wouldn't really lose fights on 2. At least not too much. Party Elementals, Azurite. Azurite was a nuts, right? But there was something else. Was it party elemental? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, you used to be okay on 2. You would just farm up tons and tons and tons of money, have this huge snowball of overconfidences and careful investments, and then you just go to 6 and then you just pop off with all the money. Yeah, it wasn't Azurite. There was something you could do on tier 2 to be like okay-ish. No, not Paint Smudger either. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Wasn't there something where the health would grow? I think there was something that got more health when you were doing stuff. I feel like there was a tier 2 card that got like more health when you were spamming cards. No, not Rewinder. The elemental when you roll. Oh, right. How was that called? It was an elemental that did get stronger when you rolled. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, anyways, whatever. We don't have to go too in depth. But I knew there was something that kept me alive on tier 2 while you were farming your money. And then it would fall off, right? So you'd go to 6 and you just pop off with all your money. We're just like casually talking while, you know, the lobby's getting destroyed. This Selfless is up to 1300 in combat. That's pretty good. Yeah, Zorgo has so much money now because he is pushing really hard for the overconfidences and the careful investments. More money than he'd have if he'd be spamming oil. Yeah, look at him. He's up to 43 gold, bro. So this is sort of the point where you might buy oil simply because you might not be able to spend 40 gold, but he's not going into that yet. We got 90 seconds. We're confident. Confident to find confidences. Does this solely rely on trinkets? You can do steal from the opponent to steal a card that works. Like you could get Evoker, for instance, right? You could get certain trinkets that help you out. That doesn't have to be Wizard Pipe. Like for instance, you could have Candle and then roll Evoker on tier 2. Yeah, he's not. Look at this. He's not going to run out of time here. He's just purely going confidence and investments. Overconfidence is such an incredibly satisfying spell to play. It's so good. Whee! All right, there we go. 40 seconds to spare. Chief and XQN did some duos where they forced lubbers. Yeah. No, honestly, when lubber is viable, it's a little bit like... I don't know if they still do that, but ultra rapid fire modes for League of Legends, where it's just it's a fun thing to do. You wouldn't want it to be the entire meta for like 2 months, but for a few days / like 2 weeks or something, it's fun. It's really good to have. So we'll definitely try to get a lubber game or 2 ourselves. With Demon Naga, you have some non-trinket scaling. 2014 thing. I don't know. Did they discontinue that? That was fun. Is that... Am I too old for bringing it up? 50 gold. Hey, the snowball is growing, chat. Our snowball is growing. Very nice. Earth still goes on. Yeah, there we go. Ronsu is just not down with the kits. He doesn't know that Earth is still a thing. That's understandable. All right. Yeah, I mean, because we have Pipe and Anvil, we don't really need to do anything other than keep getting more money by casting spells because our board is getting stronger and we're getting richer. This is such a very satisfying position to be in. You're down with the kids now. Yeah, got 2 of them. It's, yeah, 2014. Wow. Holy crap. 2014. I was streaming back then already, right? Yes, I was. But just barely. Yeah, that is a long time ago. Holy crap. Just feeling old real fast. Aha! An oil! Finally. How did this build even happen? stay on tier 2, pray to the gods for good trinkets, have lubbers, and pop off. And then we randomly have a Trolden because it's a neutral, and we just wanted neutrals. It's really interesting to see that he was happy to commit to the scout and the Trolden. I probably would have tried to force premium stuff, and my stuff would have been way smaller because of that. And he has selfless, so he could shield. So yeah, this is pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy.